Boa noite. E aí, minha caras e meus amigos. What's going on, everybody? This is your man Larry, the American Brazilian. I'm so sorry that my hair is just kind of messed up right now. My shirt has been ripped, and I love this shirt. This is my favorite shirt. It literally signifies the American Brazilian. É verdade. Anyway, enough with the preliminaries. Tonight, I want to talk about kind of a comparison, right? And a juxtaposition, right? Where you compare two different things and try to come up with some similarities, I guess you can say. So what I am going to do is it's going to be kind of a fun fact slash rant slash maybe a little bit of information. Anyway, I'll just share. So a lot of people think that in Brazil, how can I say this? Let me make sure that my volume, everything is up. Okay, good. So I hope hope you guys can hear this because I'm not starting over. Anyway, a lot of people think that Rio de Janeiro or Rio de Janeiro is the capital of Brazil when in fact it is Brasilia. All right, so that's kind of a fun fact, small, but it's true. Now, Sao Paulo is a huge, huge city. So tonight I kind of want to juxtapose that with New York City in America. Sometimes I do that. I kind of compare different places here and different things here with different places in the country and city country that I love, Brazil. I like America, but I love Brazil. Anyway, so tonight I want to talk about New York and Brazil. And things might shock you, but listen, we'll just go with it and whatever happens, happens. Okay, from a demographics situation, population, there are I'm looking at my computer, so I want to make sure I read off the statistics correctly. Certo. I want to be correct. So I'm not going to mess it up in Portuguese. Anyway, see, I can say stuff like that when I'm home because my wife can correct me and it's great, and then my professor can correct me and it's great, but I'm not going to try to, anyway, I digress. So in population, New York has 8.5 million. Sao Paulo has 12.33 million. Now, the annual population growth rate, New York grows by a 0.9%. That's kind of small. Sao Paulo grows by 1.26%. So there are a lot of people migrating from different parts of the world and Brazil to Sao Paulo. Paulista. Anyway, the female population. New York has 52.51, 51. Sao Paulo has 52.6. So it kind of is right around. It's like right. It's like very close. The male population, it's same. It's very close. 47.49. New York, 47.4. Sao Paulo. International population, meaning people that come from other places. New York has, I think, 37%. Brazil, it's unknown because, it's unknown. Either it's too big or too small to count. Quality of living, that's something that people would be curious about. Who has public health care? Both New York and Sao Paulo have public health care. The employment rate, the unemployment rate. The unemployment rate in New York is 4.3%. In Brazil, it is 13.67%. So it's drastically higher. The average salary, obviously, one goes by the dollar, the other one goes by the real. So New York, it is like not even close. New York is vastly higher because it goes by the dollar. The rent for one bedroom. Around New York, it's around $2,000, $1,500, $2,000. In Brazil, it's $464. That is U.S. That comparison is U.S. So in reais, I'm sure it's probably what 1.5. It's probably, I'll get with my wife in reais, and I should know this because I have stuff in Brazil. Anyway, But yeah, I know that the arbitrage rate, because we check it, the last time I checked that, I think it was like 5.2 reais to every dollar. So anyway, the quality of living. Quality of living. Now, New York, they make more money. There are less people. Quality of living is 44 on a scale of, like, let's just say they said, I think from 1 to 200 or something like that. New York is 44. And it says the annual survey ranks 221 cities using 39 important criteria as safety, educational, hygiene, healthcare, culture. New York is, let me see, I want to unpack this because I don't want to make it seem like I'm like super biased. New York is, I think, top 84%, and Sao Paulo is top 51%. Oops. The gross domestic product, which that's if you like numbers, which I don't. New York has, 12, 12. Was it? Sao Paulo is 477 billion. New York has 1.25. It's like 12 billion and some change. No, it's 128 billion. I'm sorry. It messed up. The number of universities, that's the schooling, the number of universities in New York, there are 18. In Brazil, there are 22. More in Brazil. Okay, so we're going to look at the environment, okay? The humidity rate. In New York, 68%, it's average temperature, and that's from a summer to winter combined. That's how they make the average. In Sao Paulo, it's 78%. So if you like a good tropical climate, Sao Paulo is the place you want to be. Has the seaside beach. New York has a seaside beach. It says Sao Paulo don't. But, if you go to Ubatuba, which I have been, you'll like that. The level of air pollution, New York, 58%. And I didn't see, so for Brazil, they didn't have anything. So I was like, wow, it must be 12 million people in Sao Paulo. The level of air pollution must be through the roof. And this is what it says. Low level of air pollution has a good influence on people's health and quality of living. Now, that's just a statement, but the range is from 55.33 to 65.92. That's basically where they consider readable, right? Sao Paulo is 23.58. So with all of the people there, the pollution is very low. Aha, it's interesting. All right. Mountains nearby, New York and Sao Paulo both have mountains. Rivers, New York and Sao Paulo both have rivers. Lakes, Sao Paulo has a lake. New York, no lake. Leisure, sports facilities, stadiums, arenas with 20,000 seats or more. These are venues that are really big, that people can go with their family, friends, and enjoy, like these big events. Excuse me. New York has 3, and I don't know the names of them. Sao Paulo has 4. Number of museums. New York, 89. Sao Paulo, 24. See, I'm being impartial, even though I like Brazil better. It was a host of the that's World Heritage Landmarks. Okay, World Heritage Landmarks. New York has 1. Sao Paulo has 2. Transportation. Cost of the monthly public transportation ticket in New York, it's $129. In Sao Paulo, it's $41 average. Price of single transportation tickets in New York is $2.75. In New York, it's 87 cents. Average commuting time. In New York, it's 45.5 minutes. Now, remember, if it's not a certain number, it's considered like super low because it's kind of unreadable. Brazil, 12 million people versus 8 million people. 8 million people, it takes them 45 minutes to get where they're going. Brazil, 17 minutes. Brazil won. Sao Paulo, go Corinthians. Anyway, all right. Bike sharing has a bike sharing system now. Both have a bike sharing system. I think obviously both places have pretty healthy people. Number of airports. New York has 3, Brazil has 2. Subways. Now, I will tell you this. I've been on a New York subway. I'm not going to even look at this statistic. Sao Paulo subways, you can eat off of them. They are clean. And when I say clean, I mean pristine. Very clean. New York subways, you don't even want to touch the door to get open. Number of tourists per year. New York has 55 million. Sao Paulo is ranked in the top 128 cities. New York is ranked in the top 34%. Let me see, 56 million people. And I think so. There are more people that visit. Yeah, there are more people that visit. Around 6 million people that visit Sao Paulo, and around 55 that visit New York. Possibilities of drinking alcohol in public. New York, you can't drink alcohol in public. You can in Sao Paulo. So if you want to have a muito forte caipirinha in public with some com churrasco or something else you want to eat, you can do that in Brazil. And you won't get bothered by the police. What else? Miscellaneous stuff. Average cost of basic utilities. Obviously, it's higher. New York is $165. Sao Paulo, $62. Price of the internet in Sao Paulo is, in New York is $65 average. In Sao Paulo is $22. And again, I don't mean this to be long, boring, and facts and figures. I'm just trying to kind of give a comparison. Safety at night. Brazil is so dangerous. Oh, they're going to snatch stuff away from you. Oh, my goodness, you have to be careful where you go. New York, the safety level at night, an indicator of how safe people feel walking alone at night during the night. One being very unsafe, 10 being very safe. Now, let me say this. Both New York, they say, is safer during the day and safer during the night. And again, I maybe so. I don't know. I mean, I've been in Sao Paulo at night. I've been in New York at night. I was okay in both places. It's word quality of drinking water. People, how drinkable is the water? They say New York, let me see, 1 being not drinkable at all, 10 being very drinkable. Okay, so New York got that one. And I want to say that's it. Cost of a Coke, stuff like that, little stuff, taxis and stuff like that. But here's the interesting thing. This is what I want to get back to. So on comparisons overall, Sao Paulo got some challenges. New York has, with 100 being the best. New York has 92. Sao Paulo has 94. So the phone didn't like that. Okay, let me try that again. Y'all have to excuse my makeshift studio, which is comprising of my, of course I'm going to edit this out. Anyway, no, I probably I'll keep the authenticity. Yes, Sao Paulo is ranked better than Brazil. No, Sao Paulo is ranked better than New York. Go figure. And I know a lot of people that might see this might be like, man, you hating on New York? No, I hate on New York. The whole point of this video is this. I wanted to dispel any myths about Brazil. Yes, I love Brazil. It's no secret. I had the flag tattooed on my arm. See, order and progress. Along with the American flag. Wow, right? So, but a lot of people, when they talk about Brazil, they talk about safety. Listen, most of the time, under normal circumstances, people who experience situations of hostility or violence under normal circumstances, they do because it's something that they probably did, somewhere that they probably went that they shouldn't, things that they were probably doing in public and had shown that they shouldn't. So some of the responsibility, it lays on the person, not victim blaming, but sometimes when people go and they do certain things, you don't go places just showing your cell phone, all that. You don't do that. You don't walk around with a whole bunch of jewelry. You don't flash a whole bunch of money. You don't do that. They don't know you there. And if you blend in, your ability to have a great time is a lot of time contingent or based upon your ability to blend in. The best compliment that I think I have ever gotten in Brazil was somebody thought I was a Brazilian. So they didn't bother with me. And my Portuguese is not very good, but I am getting there. Eu aprendendo muito rápido. I'm learning very quickly. So in the process of that, I definitely try to respect the culture and the people and my surroundings. I'm not going to do anything ignorant. Now, I will say this. When I went the last time I went, I did have my gold chain on, but a lot of people wear gold chains in Brazil. But here's the thing. You don't wear it in certain places. And if you are going in a public area or a place that you've never gone with around people that you don't know, you don't have any tour guides, you don't have family members, you don't do it. It's simple. Err on the side of caution. Live to fight another day. Now, let me say this. I had no idea this, like I'm looking at 17 minutes. I'm thinking to myself, oh, I need to cut this down. But anyway, so I received a message today from a brother. I'm not going to call his name, but shout out to you. No, well, he put a comment in the video, but I'm still, if I don't have permission on my channel, I'm not going to do that. And he said, man, the content here is helping him, and he purchased a ticket to Rio or Rio de Janeiro. Now, a lot of times people who want to make a first trip to Brazil will go to Rio, which I suggest go to Rio. I mean, it's a tourist spot, but then they also have a whole lot of off the grid living. And there's a whole nother culture outside of Copacabana or Ipanema, places like that. Those are more touristy areas. And of course, again, if you're going to go outside, veer away from the tourist areas, go with a guide. It's okay. You know, oh man, I don't want to go into the favela. I end up in Rocinha or Cidade de Deus. Listen, nobody's going to bother you in Rocinha. Nobody's going to bother you in Cidade de Deus. As long as you are respectful, as long as you understand and respect your surroundings and you respect people's culture, you'll get along just fine. Trust me. It seems like people are connecting on this site. What do you mean? Brazilian women and American men. So if you are a single American brother and you say, well, you know what, man, I sure would like to correspond with a Brazilian woman, you know, even before I go to Brazil, possibly meet somebody there, you know, that I can, when I get off the plane, I don't meet a stranger. I can meet somebody that I kind of have established a communication with. Interestingly enough, they did a study. I don't know if it was Harvard, but there was a study done, or maybe the New England Journal of Medicine. And they were saying that correspondence relationships that are developed and oftentimes create more of a stronger bond when the physical aspect of it is occurs, you know, and when people can see each other and touch each other and meet that way, that's fine. But when you get an opportunity to just form and develop a relationship solely based on communication, they say that's better. That's what they say. Who am I? Anyway, yeah. So me and a buddy of mine, we're thinking about establishing that. And if you're watching, you know. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna jump off here. I've been rambling, a lot of fun facts, a little rambling, some information. So again, if you're a single brother, you're looking to meet a good Brazilian woman, holla at your boy. I'm the plug. Anyway, yeah, so we will talk on the next one. Até a próxima. This is your man Larry, the American Brazilian, signing off saying, I will see you guys on the next one. Boa noite, and as always, é verdade, meaning it's true.